Okay. Happy Saturday, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. This is Reverend Dr. Pam Fomeno, visionary and CEO of Africa's Brain Bank. And welcome to week, Dr. Sese, what week is this? Week 4? Week 6. Can you believe that? It's been 6 weeks. Oh my goodness. You know, yeah, so welcome to week 6 of our 12-strand systemic mentoring program. Last week was so good. We had to plead with Professor Akwichek of Trust Tech to split the course on appropriation of emerging computers and technological skills into 2 parts. So today is part 2 of that strand. And I want to welcome all our students from Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Cameroon, the Gambia, Ghana. You are warmly welcome. I know you guys have already learned a lot, and there's still a lot to be learned because this is phase 1. So without further ado, I am going to hand over to Professor Akwichek, and we'll have some announcements at the end of the course. Prof, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, take it away.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. Today we're going to continue part 2 of emerging technology, especially to the benefit of African students. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to walk through this. In some part, I will show you a demo and then we'll continue from there. So give me 1 second, let me share my screen.
Good.
All right.
So, Prof, I at the end, right now, the students cannot unmute themselves. We don't want any distractions, but they'll get a chance to at the end. So go ahead.
Thank you. All right. So refresher. Last week we talked about databases. We talked about graphic presentation tools. I'm going to just walk you through a little bit of this and show you how it works. So if you are interested in database management, as you can see, that data is everywhere. We are generating data as we speak, and that data is stored somewhere. Use the SQL language to access the data. You can use the data for analysis and so on and so forth, and data is money. So if you are interested, I'll show you a glimpse of what databases look like. So once you are connected to a database environment, you are presented with it like you see on my screen. This is a SQL Server. This is Microsoft database environment. As you can see, it is done in a very professional way so that you can't find yourself, you will find yourself in areas where you need to be in a very logical way. So you see, databases are all here. If you open a database, for example, let's open this one called APPROPRIATIon. When you open a database, it has what is called tables. Tables is that's where your data is stored. It is stored in tables. And if you right click, for example, let's just say we want to look at the organizations here, right click on it and you want to look at the data, you select that and you print it out and you will see data shows up on our screen. And here we go. So when you see data out there, it is stored in a spreadsheet manner, right? It's stored as spreadsheet. You have the columns and you have the rows, almost like a spreadsheet. But this is all data stored in the database and it's on a relational type. So that's how data is being stored. You have tables, you have views, you have programs. For example, I talk about, let me show you one more thing. We talk about the SQL language, right? Remember SQL language? Well, here it is. Let me show you what it is. This is the SQL language right here. Sometimes you don't even write the code. You just right click on the table. When you right click on the table, you say select top 1000. And then it prints the data for you there. If you want to select, maybe you don't want to select everything, you just select everything, you can just press star, which means everything. Sorry, star. You can select star. That's no star, right? That's no star. Right. You can say select star from, and you click execute. an error there. Let me clean that up and do it again. So let's say we want to select, you want to see all of that, you say select that, and they will print it for you. If you want to see everything, remove this one from here, just remove that from there, and then run the script again. It will show everything that is in the database for you on the screen. So this is the query language. It uses the terminology that you're already familiar with. Select from where all those English terminology, you apply it in database, and that's what I was explaining last week. Let's go back here. So we have seen this, we have seen what database concept look like, and then practical applications. I talk about large database, complex databases, graphic databases, and that's why you're able to see on Facebook. I know you on Facebook, you know somebody who knows somebody in Facebook, you're all connected. So that is a database-driven environment. Now for graphic design and presentation, we have the PowerPoint. This is the database. I'm using PowerPoint right now. It's very simple. If you want to create a new PowerPoint presentation, look at the template. The templates are all here, colorful template. All you need to do is pick up a template and then enter your data and you are good to go. And that is a professional way to do things. That's what I did to prepare the slide for you. I did the same thing. So this is the presentation tool that we're talking about. There's also Adobe Illustrator. You have the we have Canva. People are very familiar with that. But if you are familiar with one of the tools, Google Slide is another one. Amazon has its own. Different competitors have their own, but the most popular one is PowerPoint, which is Microsoft. And then Google Slides is also another one. So that's what I talked about last week. Let's move on to the next thing. We talked about scientific programming and C++, and I told you, you know what? C++ is the base of the training language. Nobody write them, they write the Python. Fortran is another scientific programming language. Again, it is not more used, but it is the beginning of programming. Python is the best language today because it's easier for people to learn. So the key concept of programming is you have to understand the syntax, you have to understand the object-oriented programming, memory management, and so on and so forth. We talked about this last week. You can go ahead and watch those videos on our YouTube channel. Now we are here, right? Effective electronic communication, that is talking about email. You know what I mean? So if you look at your email system, you can get organized. You can create folders and keep important information. In your inbox can be very crowded. You can create folders, and when you go through email, you can easily take some of the emails that are important and put them here in a folder so that you can easily go to those ones where you need them. Because you use all your inbox for all your email and you try to work with it, it can become very, very confusing and not effective. So there are techniques that you can use to create this folder. You can even use AI to automatically sort all your email into these various folders so that you can look at what is important to you, right? So that's our email system right there. We talked about that last week. Slack. Slack is a very, very important one for organization. I'll show you how Slack look like. Let me push my Slack channel here so you can see Slack. This is Slack right there. This is Slack right there. So in Slack, you have channels. And in each channel, you have specific people who work in that channel. You can communicate with individuals within the channel, and or you can communicate with everybody within the Slack environment. So let me see if I can pull that up for you. So you can see how Slack look like. What is it? Let me see if I can pull that up. Otherwise, I'll come back to it. It will be loaded. Let me move on. I'll come back when it's loaded. All right, so you will see Slack organizing conversation by channel. A channel is more or less like a group, you know, a social media group, call it channel. And in that channel, you can bring in people who want to communicate with you in the channel, and you can set them in private groups. You can do them in public groups. You can share public audios and videos. You can make video call. You can even hold conferences like we are doing today. Slack is very popular. Now, the another tool that is business required, business uses a lot. This is called Microsoft Teams. I will show you that right now on my screen. You can see at the bottom of my screen. I will put that up. You can see my this is Teams right here. You can see Teams. You can see my team. I'm using it to run the school. And this is mostly for business. You can do calendaring. You can do OneDrive. OneDrive is attached to your MS Teams. You can do chatting in MS Teams. You can do administration in MS Teams by giving people permission. You can see this the calendar for Teams. You can go in there and you can do chatting. You can see, very nice. The templates are there. You can meet people online. You can do video like we're doing right here. But this is all done by businesses. Zoom is popular for everybody, but Teams is mostly for businesses. So you can see that's Teams right there, which is very popular. And it's free too. You can go ahead and download it. Now, Teams has been built with AI included nowadays. Office 365 now has built-in AI, and it's called Copilot right there. So Copilot is here. Let's say you want to write an email or you want to chat with somebody, you want to really make sure you get the right wording. You can ask, how Copilot, I want to communicate with this person with this idea. Give me an idea on what to write. Copilot will give you those ideas and you can just copy and paste. It looks professional. Now, businesses have fully adopted AI in their workplace. I work for a company today that they say, if you don't learn AI, you'll be fired. Can you imagine? If you don't learn AI, you will not get a job. We were told bluntly. They gave us 6 months to learn AI. So we are now learning AI. We are using AI every day because it improves productivity. You can do AI to do research. You can use AI to do everything, to draw pictures, to design an application, even produce a website in minutes. You don't have to go and hire a developer to do website, but AI will be there to do that for you. So it's very essential that we learn about AI. So AI is everywhere nowadays. So don't shy away from it. All right. Online meetings. Of course, we talk about preparedness. If you want to present online, like I'm doing today, you prepare a PowerPoint presentation, you prepare examples, you prepare show and tell to make your online meeting effective. You have to make sure people are engaged. You make sure that people are understanding. And then, of course, you share the agenda, you share all the communication so people can follow up later on. And of course, we always post these things in YouTube, and you always have them available to you to use for yourself. So let's move on to the next stage. We are now looking at research techniques. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, productivity, emerging technology, use it to your own advantage. Build the skills, an employer will come for you. And we are here to expose this to you, our African students, so you are globally competitive. So let's move through this quickly. Advanced strategy for credible academic research online. Can you imagine if you're at high school, if you're at university, there's always a need for you to write research papers, right? To do your own research, prepare the research, do your defense. For those at university, before you graduate, you do your defense, you write a paper, you present, and your instructor will question you about your research. And how do you go about doing all the research? How do you prepare the documentation that will look professional? Here are tips for you. Advanced research strategy. Define your topic. Before you do research, you have to know exactly, it's equally like if you're going to write a book, you have to think through what your topic will look like. Once you write a book and you put your topic on that book, people find you easily. It is through the topic that people even open your book or even buy it. So the topic is very, very crucial. How do you know you have a good topic? Ask AI. AI can help you for that. If I just go to my AI and I say, AI, give me a good topic to write a book about African culture, for example, right? If I just go to AI, for example, and I tell AI, I said, I want to write a book about African culture. Please give me a topic topic for my book. See? Watch. There we go. You have choices to think about. African true stories. That could be a big topic right there. The oral tradition that shaped a continent. Powerful. The colors of Africa, art, fashion, and identity. That is the topic you can write a book on. And on and on. Then you choose what you need. It takes seconds to produce up to 8 topics. And they are very impactful. Then the one that catches your attention, then you take it and then start to explore. So therefore, always define your topic right. Use AI to help you. Use the precise keyword. Okay, look at me where I typed there. I said, I want to write a book. AI understand what you're looking for. About what? African culture. Those are keywords that you have to put in there in order to get the result right. So you cannot just write anything. You have to think through that AI will use whatever you give him to give you the right result. If you give the wrong command to AI, it will give you what may not be necessary for you. So always look at important keyword to use when you make your research. Boolean operators. Well, this is what you learn in mathematics too. The and or and not are also useful when you do AI for researching your topic. So be very careful with those. Search engine tools. Well, nowadays, you can go to domain name, you can go to Google, you can go to Microsoft. But today, a lot of people don't even go Googling to do research. They just go to AI. You know what I mean? I can just go to AI and I said, I want to research. Say, do me a research on African marriages, right? African marriage. I want to know about how African do marriage. And I doing all the research for me, and I come back with all the ceremonial introduction and engagement, bride price. You know what I mean? We do bride price in Africa. It's nothing.
Prof, let me interrupt you. Ask AI to tell you about Africa's brain bank. Let's see what it comes up with.
Tell me about.
This is our program. Africa's brain bank. Africa's, not yeah.
Brain bank.
Mm-hmm. I want to see what it will come up with.
All right, here we go. Brain drain in Africa. Africa loses hundreds of people, of thousands of skilled professionals. Brain bank means instead of seeing migrating a loss, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is exactly what it means by brain bank, right? It's giving you the context of brain bank, African brain bank, and giving you how it might not pull the website up, or depend on if I go back and I give a better, they call it
command.
Yes, it will go further than that. But generally, if you look at what African brain drain in Africa, that's the context of African brain bank, right? That's what it's all about.
Okay.
So, and the whole thing is described here about what it is. And of course, brain bank means instead of seeing migration as a loss, the brain bank concept reframes it as an opportunity, right? It treats the diaspora as a reserve of intellectual capital that can be tapped into just like a financial bank holds money. Contribution can include blah, blah, blah. You see, it's all about the whole concept of African brain bank that we are here today. And it's explained here by
okay.
Perfect.
All right, proceed.
So now evaluating online resources. Well, this is key here because whenever you send a command to AI to give you information about your research, you should also validate that. You cannot just take it for what that everything is absolutely correct. AI gives you 95%, 97% accuracy. It will never give you 100% accuracy because there will be a doubt as to why would you get 100% accuracy. So, but the big part is you got information that is very useful. Consider affiliation. Consider sponsoring organizations and portal buyers. Some organizations might write articles about a particular topic. They may be biased in the way they write it, so be very open to that. Make sure that the information that you're researching on is really targeting the result that you want. Audience and purpose. Okay, I just said I want to know about African marriages. My audience, who is my audience? My audience are young people who are looking forward to get married. So I will write in context of that. So my audience, I should know my audience before I do my research, so that when the research comes out, it's targeting that particular audience, and the population will love to know more about that. Content reliability. When you do a research, there's always a citation at the bottom of the page. You need to cite where the information came from. So if I go to back to AI, for example, I would say, please give citation of the content, right? If I do that, see what it's gonna do. It's gonna go out there, do the research for me. It's gonna give citation as to where the information comes from. Look at it right here on the screen. You can see this is where this information came from. You can see it in gray here. This is where the information came from. This one. This is where information came from Wikipedia. You can see information came from World Bank. So this context, this whole paragraph right here came from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places before it's consolidated for you. This is powerful. You see, doing seconds, few seconds. You can see every of my citations is always included. You see, but when you write a research, you don't put it like that. You put at the bottom of every page where the information came from. This is absolutely fantastic. Of course, now you look at management tools. Let me make sure you can see my screen proper. All right. Reference management. Effective research requires meticulous organization, keeping track of sources, etc., etc. So when you do a research, it was challenging before, but today it's normal. You just put it AI, refine and refine and refine, and you get a product. There are so many tools that you can use. EndNote for tracking. These are, I'm not even familiar with these other tools here, but there are so many of them out there that you can use for tracking your research. And key functions: collect and organize resources, annotate, take notes, generate citations. We did that already in the AI did that for me. The biography, you can also do that if you are talking about a person, researching a character, you can then do the biography for that person. The benefit is save time and prevent accidental plagiarism. So if you write a paper, make sure that you don't copy somebody's paperwork. But AI will, you can even if you generate through AI, you can always review it for accuracy to make sure that the data is not coming from one source. And that's why 3 or 4 sources is very important for your research. So again, students, as you pursue your academic, your education, you are always needed to do research. You're going to do research, whether you're doing engineering, you're doing mathematics, you're doing technology, you need to do your research. And you have the tools in your hands to do that. AI has broken the boundary, making the challenges become as easy as anything. So take advantage of that, and you will be happy, and you will be finding yourself in the right place at the right time, and even study much faster than you think. So let's move to the next slide. All right. Essential tool for research, collaboration, and there's a topic that we're collaborating platform, learning management system, research infrastructure, key benefits. So let me, this slide here is not showing me. Let me get that out of the way. All right, cloud computing. Cloud computing. Everything that we do now is in the cloud. AI is in the cloud. Collaboration in the cloud. Conferencing in the cloud. The tools are there for you. So email cloud, online research cloud, e-commerce cloud, conferencing cloud. Everything that you do today is cloud-based. Have a lot of providers that give you the cloud capabilities. One of them is Google. Google Drive gives you a way to share content. If you look at my bottom of my screen, you can see this is my OneDrive right there. And in my OneDrive, if I open my computer, I will show you how OneDrive look like. If I go here in my drive, you can see my data right here. This is OneDrive right here. If I open this OneDrive, all of this content that I built is not really physically sitting on my computer, it's in the cloud. But it appears to me that everything is here with me. I can open this, I can create folder, if my computer crashes, burned, my data is in the cloud. Once I get a new computer, I connect to my OneDrive account, all of this content come right back to my desktop. That is called collaboration. You can share this content with people online. They can also create their own folder, put content that you can share across your team. That's called collaboration platform. So Microsoft has OneDrive. There's Google Drive. There is OneDrive. There's so many of them out there. This is just a few examples. Now, when it comes to training, learning, I know most African students, they all go to the physical classroom, right? That's how we all went through. Things are changing rapidly, okay? So while you go to meet your teacher in the classroom to have a physical class, when you sit there and writing on the blackboard and you write, open your eyes. European countries, what you can do physical in the classroom, you can do it online. We are sitting here and we're doing training with you right here. What's the difference? I'm sharing my screen with you. We're educating you right here. You are taking your notes. This will be all generated. The video will be created and you'll be stored in the YouTube. You can go back and learn about it. So open your mind and embrace the technology that most of the learning will be online. There are specialized companies out there that do online training. They put a platform where you can go and learn, right? So State has one. You can go there, create an account, and you can see a lot of courses that you can learn at the comfort of your home. Some of these videos are made for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so it's easy for you to study. So there are many platforms out there. Pick the one that is good for you and be able to learn. Don't only depend on the physical classroom. Please learn online as well so that you can be well informed. So let's move on to the next slide. Mobile productivity and social media for academics. Interesting. Do you know that there's a lot of tools that can make your learning experience a blast? To tell you the truth. You can learn on your phone, you can learn on your laptop, you can watch videos, and so on and so forth. Now, when it comes to tools that you can use, 75% of users access course content through their own devices. Like what? Cell phone. Most of you see are actually on your cell phone. Some are on your laptop. See how convenient it is. You could be in a car and you're learning. You could be in a plane and you're learning. You could be sitting in your private office and you're learning. So while you are learning, how do you keep that information? How do you, categorize information so you can always get back to it? You take notes, note taking. There are apps that can do that for you. Even in a conference like this, there is AI that actually can take notes, listen to our conversation, summarizes everything at the end of the course, and send to you as text. Today, there's AI for that. And that AI is called Read AI. Read AI, right? Let's take a look. If I ask ChatGPT, I say, what is Read AI? See, AI power meeting assistant. Okay, that's what Read AI does. A tool designed to automatically transcribe, summarize, and analyze your virtual or in-person meeting. See, beautiful. If you enable it, anytime you enable it, it will do the work for you. Can you imagine? So note taking, you don't have to be writing note like this, like we used to do before. You have a book, the teacher is talking and you're writing note. Sometimes you miss something. You know, I had a tough time in Yaoundé in the 80s, especially in the French classroom. The teacher is teaching French, I'm in English. I'm trying to copy the notes, translate them right in English. It doesn't work. See, but today, AI can listen to French, Japanese language, translate instantly into a language that you best understand. This is fantastic. Document, document management. How do you keep your file? How do you keep a file that you can access online? You don't have to keep it on your laptop. What happens if your laptop gets stolen? Your file will be gone, right? There is what is called Google Docs. Google Docs is an online repository for your Word document, your PowerPoint, your images. Put it there. You go somewhere and say, please, I need to go to a library, and you open a library computer, you can access your document right there. So it's travel with you online. So that's how you will use that. Reference management, mobile app like this one they call Zotero is another one that can be used for that. Communication is abundant of them. I talk about Slack, Teams, and email to stay connected with research teams. That's how you communicate with everybody. Social media, academic, professional networking, LinkedIn, everybody. I know we are all in Facebook, isn't it? Now, a lot of people are on TikTok, isn't it? But when it comes to professional relationship, where it counts about your profession, where employers are looking for you, where people want to hire people with specific talent, that media, the social media that is dedicated for that is called LinkedIn, right down here. So if you go home, if you didn't hear about this, please go ahead and go into LinkedIn, okay? Let's go ahead and check what LinkedIn look like. If I go out here and I open one of the browsers, I say LinkedIn, for example, go enter, you can see what LinkedIn look like. Here is LinkedIn. This is a social network for professionals. Here we go. Can you imagine? Jobs, lots of jobs are up here. It's meant for professional and employer. This is my profile right here. You can see a lot of people communicating, trying to get hold of me. They are looking for me for a job. They say, oh, Peter, I have something for you. They look at my profile, look at this one. I hope this message meets you, blah, 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 finds you well. My name is this, data engineer principal. They are looking for people with that skill. How did they know that I have the skill? Because they went and look at my profile. So all the students, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, create your profile, upload your resume out there. Somebody's gonna reach out to you. Social networking.
That is so true.
So that's it. Guys, things are out there. We need to educate you. We'll let you know where it is. We'll bring it to your attention. You have to take advantage of it. Research is also key. I know you must have known about Twitter. Twitter. The name is X. They changed the name from Twitter. When Twitter was purchased by Elon Musk, they changed it to X. For sharing findings and engaging in many conversations at the same time. Take time, important. It's free for user. Take advantage of it. Academic blogging. What is a blog? It's writing a blog to communicate your research to a broader audience. That's what a blog is all about. Most websites, when you go through a website, look at the menu, there's a section that says blog. That's where current information keeps showing up from that website related to the content of the website. There's always a blog to keep the people current about what's happening. And this one, collaborating platform, oh my God, there's a lot of them out there. Academia.edu is a big one. Academia.edu is a big one. Go ahead and check it out. You'll be amazed what you'll find there. Now let's move on to the next one. Cybersecurity fundamentals. Hey, look at this. This is a key area where the demand continues to rise exponentially. So, cybersecurity. Can you imagine? Everybody gets threatened. I get threatened. I've been robbed by cyber criminals. They've stolen money from me. And I'm sure you must have been approached in by many ways. Like the 419 people is all about cyber security problem. So everybody needs that. So this course, we're going to give you the advanced course after the initial course we introduced to you. we will be able to bring to you a true career path for you to become a cybersecurity engineer. But nonetheless, let's take a look. Data. How many times have you heard companies say data breach? Millions of dollars gone. When hackers get hold of a server, a company server, and they pull in millions of accounts, they get their credit card information, get their addresses. What do they do with it? They sell it to other people to do marketing. They take the credit card and open account in their name, and they charge it on your name. So it's a big deal, right? Data protection is a very important thing. Even for you, you don't keep your passcode anyhow. If you are doing online banking, the people who are doing Momo or Pesa, you always have to have a security key that will not be exposed to anyone, or else they'll get into your account before you know any your money is gone. So therefore, data protection is key. Essential practices to secure yourself. Make sure your password is strong. Not only password, add two-factor authentication. In addition to their strong password, you must add two-factor authentication. What is that? What is two-factor authentication? You must have come across it without knowing. If you are going to go to a website where you are going to be buying stuff, sometimes this company will ask you to have two-factor authentication. Once you sign in, once you put in your username and password, they will send a code to you through email that you have registered with us. Enter the code that we just sent to you through the email. So if you're a hacker, you will not get it because you don't have the email. They may even send a code to your phone and said, if you are the one going into this account online, enter the code online for us. That's called two-factor authentication. So if you don't use it, please use it for all financial transactions. Phishing. Phishing is a big problem. Phishing is not the fish that we catch in the ocean. Look at the spelling. It doesn't spell like the real fish. It spells like that. And it's called phishing. Okay? Phishing is a big problem to companies. What happens is that somebody will write a very professional letter, sign it as a CEO, and send out to employees, and they fall for it. That's phishing. So watch out for phishing. We're going to teach you how to find out if an email is a phishing email and how to avoid it. So be careful. They can use phishing to steal your credentials. They can use phishing to get information that you don't need to give to them, and you can get into trouble with that as well. All right, implementation timeline and how we are going to run the class. Check it out. What you have learned from this this particular section, this class, introduction to the emerging technology, is it doesn't end here. We are just getting your appetite wet or get you're excited about it. But then once you go through this initial class, you go through YouTube, you write your report as expected, then you have privilege to join the actual class second phase. So it will take a few weeks, for the next class. After you've gone through this initial class, we'll continue to go through the 12th round. This is part of it. So therefore, all you need to do going forward is please note the productivity tools that are useful to you. Know about Microsoft Office, right? Use it. Also read about Google Workspace. And then there's also this other tool that I mentioned, Zotero, for communication. It's an important thing I want to highlight for you today. Scientific programming, I will change it. I will add this. I will add Python here for you. I will add Python. Okay. So make sure you start looking at Python by any means. I'll guarantee you that if you know Python, then you are going to be an engineer. Everybody can do Python.
Prof, I don't like the name Python, so I'm not going to bother with it. That's just a joke. Students don't listen to me. Go ahead, Prof.
Yes, I know. So Python is a good programming language. It's easy to learn, and it does fantastic things. It's actually done for engineering. It's done for engineering. You can use Python to write important scripts. You can do website development using Python. You can create a web application using Python. You can do graphic design using Python. So it's a very powerful tool. I'd like you guys to think about it. Electronic communication, know how to write professional emails. Make sure your language is good. Don't write this shorthand thing that you guys do on chatting with friends. Whenever you write email, please be very careful because these things stay out there. Even if you delete it, it's still out there. Someday, a company want to hire you, they will go and look at all the things that you have been writing on Facebook, TikTok. They will look at it. They will look at it and see that try to come out with a character. What kind of character are we getting into our company? So try to write professionally going forward. Get yourself involved with Teams. Microsoft Teams is a free communication tool, I showed you, and it's good for businesses. So if you're writing a resume and you're looking for a job and they need to know about your collaborative tools, please use Teams. Don't use Zoom. Zoom is general for everybody. Teams is for businesses. Web research, I will just tell you go to AI. Start with AI, and then you can do any other research that you want. And the most popular AI that is out there is ChatGPT. It's free. Go in there, create an account, and ask any question that you doubt, whether in engineering, any question that you think about. It doesn't have to be science, it doesn't have to be engineering, it can be anything. And you'll be surprised the information that ChatGPT will bring back to you. Technology, cloud technology is essential. Everything that we do nowadays is in the cloud. Cloud computing, servers, email, Amazon, cloud computing, ChatGPT, all of those, like you have ChatGPT out there. Amazon has its own. Microsoft has Copilot. Everything is built into the cloud. Please take advantage of that. Learn as much as possible, and we are here to guide you. And then some of the learning resources are online. Tutorials are online. University workshops are online. Practical projects are online. You don't need to have a library locally to do your work. That's the bottom line. Get access to internet. You have your phone. You can get access to all of this. So that is why I prepared for you today. Let me see if I can bring my Slack to show you. I wanted to show you.
Oh my God. Let's hear it for Prof. Akwichek. We do have a couple of questions, Prof. So let me see if I can pull this question.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason Salifu, you can ask the question. You can ask the question. Let me have him unmute himself because we don't want distractions during the lectures. That's why we're not, wait, let me go to Salifu. Please, if anyone has a question, put your hand up and we'll ask you to unmute.
Okay, good afternoon, Doctor. Thank you very much. This is a very sensitive topic. I like it so much because it falls under my domain. Two questions. I have two questions, actually. One of them has to do with the AI, for which you already spoke about. The question is, how do we embrace the barrier in leveraging AI from an African context? Because AI has been with us. I think it's only now the sense of awareness has actually increased. Because like you mentioned, the Google Chrome, before this time we're having internet browser, all of these were different kinds of AI that were actually around us, but we never actually understand them like we do now. So the question is, how do we embrace the barrier in leveraging AI from an African context?
Okay, good question.
Okay, Prof, do you still need this screen or you want to change it while you're answering the question?
That's okay. We don't need that screen.
Okay.
All right.
Dr. Sese, I see your hand up. I'll come to you after the Prof answers Salifu's question.
All right. So from the African perspective, how do we bridge this AI barrier for Africa? If I get your question right, meaning African students may or may not know about AI or how to get access to AI and use it Is that the question?
Salifu, is that your question? Salifu, can you hear the Prof? Prof, just proceed. I don't know what's going on with him.
All right. I can understand how AI is so new. Even in the US, when AI came, companies were not ready for it. They were scared. Companies were scared about AI because they're scared about what? About their data getting exposed. They were not sure about the security of AI, the content, and all of that. But finally, they realized, and people were even scared that AI was going to take their job away. But today, after about 3 to 4 years, we have fully come around to implement AI fully in the workplace. Now, Africa may still be in the dark. How do we bring this to the African classroom? It is only through teachers. We have to figure a way to make sure that teachers are aware, because even the teachers themselves need AI to improve in the content they produce to teach. So it's a challenge to all of us, for sure. Something like this that come up, somebody had to adopt it. A country has to adopt it, move into the education system, and start recommending. But as an individual, you can go out and learn about it, but for it to be a mainstream media or a mainstream offering within the classroom, it has to come with a curriculum and defined by the government as well. But again, when it comes to social media, it's open to all. So all we can do is teach the student who show up here. Once you show up to our platform, you will learn. So, but how to get that information to the general public in Africa, they require, I know you, you know me, you know it, you introduce to somebody who introduce somebody who can keep networking in that direction.
Prof, let me just piggyback on what you're saying. One of the things we require the students to do, because not everybody, they are privileged to be part of this first batch. So they're supposed to pay it forward. They're supposed to share what they learn here with at least 2 students every week, because they're not paying for this. We are actually trying to raise funds to pay their tuition. And what they're going to bring to the table is make sure that they impact this knowledge on somebody else. So by doing that, and of course, we're streaming it on YouTube, and we're actually going to bring someone on board that's going to manage our social media platform. So all of these things are going to be on all social media platforms to spread the word. What the knowledge we are sharing here is premium. Those who have been attending, you see, this is week 6, you know what you are getting. And because only the best is good enough for people. So I just wanted to encourage, everybody share this information. Don't keep it. It's not a secret. So let's go. Salifu, are you okay with this response? Because I need to go to Dr. Sese.
Yeah, before you go, the reason why I asked this question is because for me, I could consider it as a myth, because a lot of people are taking it as a myth. AI is new to us as Africans. For some people, because the reason why AI can give you answer, it depends on the prompt. Like doctor presented, when you ask him to check for Africa Brain Bank, it depends on the prompt. Whatever thing you ask AI is what it will give you. I think to add to that, we need training. Yeah, the government can say, okay, let's use it, but we need to train people, teach them. There are some students, it's not lazy, but because they don't know how to go about using all of these, they could just give a particular prompt and they copy paste. Then it could be interpreted as plagiarism, when in actual sense, they do not know how to actually leverage on it, because all it gives you is an idea and you have to make it human. I think these are the kind of steps, again, we can also take to help train people around us. We'll bring this sensitization that can also make a lot of people accept it. Thank you, Doctor.
Agreed, Salifu, you're so right. Yeah, and like you said, some students may not know that what they are doing is plagiarism. The good thing with AI is that, unlike a Google search that gives you thousands of results, AI narrows it down. It does the work for you, but you cannot copy and paste. It needs to be a guide. And that's what we're saying, everybody should pay it forward. Believe me, you'll be surprised. If each person here shares this every week with at least 2 people, and those people share with at least 2 people, just think about how the snowball effect. So we are doing our part. We're not waiting for the government. But thank you for your question, Salifu. Dr. Sese, your hand is up. Prof, we have 10 minutes. Actually, we need to make some announcements. Dr. Sese, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question. Dr. Sese, can you hear me?
I'm trying to unmute, yes. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. This was wonderful. Now, my question is linked to what Salifu just asked. Okay, remember, even for our feedback from the students, we advised them not to use AI. The reason for that, because we felt that they did not understand it properly, because they were just copying and pasting. And this was the case even when people were using Google. When they give you information, you have to be patient to know that that information is very relevant to what you want. And if it is not, go back and rephrase your request so that particular keywords are there. But sometimes they just make one click, and then when they get to the information, they just copy and paste. Even when they get things like gender, information, grammar wrong, they do not even edit it. They just copy and paste. So my question to Prof is, what advice do you have for students in the effective use of AI information?
Again, that's a great question indeed, because you're right. If you don't use it the right way, if you don't enter the right prompt, you'll get the wrong result, for sure. That's why I mentioned during the discussion here that AI will not give you 100%. If you give you 100%, accuracy is wrong. 95%, 96%, 98% is good feedback. Now, it takes education to use the system correctly. It takes education, because even there is a career called prompt engineer. It's actually a career. A prompt engineer is somebody who understands how to write those prompts. There's a lot of articles out there that describe some of the things in great detail. So, yeah, we are here. We are privileged to this content. We have known how AI was developed. I'm a computer science. I went to school to do computer science. I'm a master in computer science. So I know how AI operates and how it works. But then for our users, like the African student, it will take hand-holding and actually show them how they can leverage that opportunity. Because they will type anything they want. They will just type anything and the result will show up. Garbage in, garbage out. So there's a learning curve in there that we have to design for the African student. And I see that's an opportunity for us to put together a content that can be used to train our African student. And it's very easy to put together. My team can come up with that. And
that would be awesome. Prof, let's do that before we even get them into phase 2. So we're going to add one more week, Dr. Sese. This is so important. These are the pioneer students, the pilot students, and before the second batch comes in, whatever little kings are there, will add some stuff. I have no problem increasing the 12 strands to 14 strands. I have no problem at all. You know, so we will do that. So let's go to Madeline. Madeline's hand is up, and Madeline, you can unmute yourself and ask. This may be the last question we take because we have some announcements. Madeline, the mic is yours. Unmute yourself. Kindly unmute yourself, please. Madeline, I ask you to unmute yourself. You should be able to unmute yourself. Let me just go and have unmute all participants. Yeah, Madeline, you can unmute yourself. Okay, well, while we are waiting for her to unmute herself, I've allowed participants to unmute themselves. David, your hand is up. Unmute yourself. David, you can unmute yourself. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Prof, for this wonderful lecture. It's been a captivating moment for me because most of us use this AI, just the direct information we give to it gives back to us. But like we in Africa get the AI information late. Now that it's there, people are now lazy, so they just.
David, sorry, your voice is muffled. Prof, can you hear him?
I can barely hear him actually.
Okay.
Louder.
Yeah, David, speak louder and go closer to your mic. You're very muffled.
All right. Is it okay now?
It's a bit better, but go ahead. Yeah, because of time.
I was referring to these AI issues. The thing is, most of us use this AI. I'm not excluded. Like the idea is from us. We give to the AI, but like some of us just ask the AI to modify or make it standard in a way we can use it nationally and internationally. But some just give it what they want to get. So it just gives them and they just copy and paste. But the idea there is, if we all have this knowledge that we are gaining here now, how to input, how to do the editing after what the answers it is giving us, then I think it will be very nice for African students. But for now, we are just using it to raw, giving it the raw materials and whatever it gives to us, we just copy and paste it. That's how most people are doing. But from what I'm learning now is you give the AI your questions, it modifies it for you. Then you have to do some editing, get the main point you want, and go ahead and complete your assignment. So thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I think this program is really educative.
Thank you, David. And that's why they need to keep sharing. You guys, as Prof said, when we're your age, we had to manually read so many textbooks, come up with our own information, and then analyze it. Now, AI is doing all that for you. Prior to AI, Google will give you a lot of information you have to sift through. AI is narrowing it down. And let me remind you, AI is not always right. I put some prompts in AI and came up with some wrong information. AI depends on data that human beings had come up with. And I actually saw a program out of Kenya. I don't know. A lot of this data is being put in by Africans. This particular program was about data labeler. They hired them to look at images and label them. And those information are fed. Yesterday, I'm currently at a conference, the 125th anniversary of the National Business League, founded by Booker T. Washington. One of the speakers who was our keynote speaker in 2021, Dr. George Fraser of Fraser Nation, asked a question. A company, an AI company, approached him to use the content of one of his books in their AI. So just know that AI at this point is still depending on human and it's still depending on data. And we need to have a lot of data from our own people for AI to pick up some of those things. So let's not keep thinking that, oh, Africa is in a disadvantage. There are people in the US who also are afraid of AI and don't know about AI. You know, so let's stop all this thing that, oh, just like somebody will say, oh, Africa connectivity. We know all those problems. We don't want to focus on the problems. Let's focus on the solution. You know, Prof, thank you so much. We just have a couple of announcements. A week from today is August the 30th, Africa's Brain Bank 6th Annual Summit and Charity Ball. At first, we're going to stream 1 hour of it so the students can do an assignment, but we realized that you guys need a break to catch up on all your assignments. So I spoke with Dr. Aminata to say, we will give you guys this Saturday to submit all your videos. So there'll be no excuse. Consider it a spring break or a fall break or a summer break of this class. That's the only break you're gonna get. So in 2 weeks, Salifu is here, our student coordinator. Salifu, please take this next 2 weeks to reconcile everybody who has submitted assignments. Those who have not submitted it, you know, they need to catch up. If not, they're not going to proceed into phase 2. That's the truth. This is serious business here, and we're not going to pay school fees of people who cannot even do their own part. Everybody, make sure you watch the YouTube video, you subscribe to the channel, and you share it with your other friends and families. This course is for everybody. Even though we have students from 5 to postgraduate, even parents can learn from this. Technology is not going anywhere. AI is not going anywhere. That's the truth. So we are at the top of the hour. I want to wish everybody a safe weekend and see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Prof, thank you once more.
Before you go, can I ask Prof which other week he wants to share the